something very basic. And this is called a Sunnyvale cube, and it's made out of a traditional unit. But this is the very basic building block for modular origami. Now, let me explain what modular origami is. As the name implies, you fold several modules, all are of the same design, and then you put them together to form a shape. Now, most of the modular origami, the name always implies polyhedral modular origami, which means you will base your structure on a three-dimensional geometric shape. And although you can make other things like modular animals or modular weeds, but it's just most of the time modular origami implies geometric shapes like tetrahedron, dodecahedron, icosahedron, things like that. And my book, which I've put on display over there, has 30 modular designs. A lot of them are based on the Sunnyvale. They are variations of the Sunnyvale. So once you do this cube, it should be helpful towards making models out of that book. And there are other chapters which are not based on the Sunnyvale, but the Sunnyvale will give you enough experience on modular origami that you can go ahead with other models.
Sunnyvale means a cube?
No, the Sunnyvale is the name of the person who first made this. His full name is Mitsunobu Sunnyvale, and he made this unit sometime in the early 70s. And he started out with making the cube, but later on, someone called Toshi Takahama, she made a jewel shape out of his units. And then even later, there were people making models. This one just has 6 units. This is made out of 6 units, but people were making different shapes out of 30 units, 60 units, 90 units, 270 units, and so on. I think up to 900. I've seen a Sunnyvale model of 900 units. And it's actually linked from my website. If you go to my website, and there's a lot of material there. You cannot go over the stuff in one day. But it is linked. So I think has anyone already made this before? You have? Would you like to make something else then by yourself from the book, or you'll just make this? Okay. All right, so then I'll get started with the instructions. I'm sure all of you have 6 sheets of paper, and you should have 2 of each of 3 colors. So in the final model, what's going to happen is each paper will form one face of your cube, and the way you try to assemble it is put opposite colors, put the same colors on opposite faces. So let's say you have red, blue, and green. So you put 2 reds like that, 2 blues like that, and 2 greens like that. Now, I got a large sheet so that people can see what I'm doing, and you already have the instructions with you. So the very first thing we are going to do is, with the colors, the white side facing you, we are going to fold the paper into half. And in modular origami, it's very important that you fold accurately. So your corners should match up, your edges should match up as accurately as possible. And then we are going to open that fold, and this is actually called a book fold, for obvious reasons. And also, when you fold the paper towards you, this is called a valley fold. That's a very basic term used in origami. Not only modular, any origami is going to use this term. So valley fold means folding towards you. So we'll open out the valley fold and then fold the edges to the center. and then you open it out as well. And this is called cupboard folding, again for obvious reasons, because it's like the doors of a cupboard. Now, you're going to fold the top right and bottom left corners. It's very important that you do top right and bottom left and not the other two, because all your units need to be folded identically. So if you fold the other two corners, you'll get a mirror of your original unit, and then they won't go together. So top right will be this one. Yeah, let's make sharp creases, but not too hard that the paper will rip. Yeah. So we are folding the two corners. The paper doesn't like the microphone. And then after we do that, we're going to recrease the cupboard folds. Is everybody at this point? Okay. The next thing would be to fold this part along this line, like that. After we fold it, we actually have to tuck it behind the cupboard door. So we first fold and then we tuck it behind the cupboard door. Then we turn the paper around like that and do the same thing with this corner. The first we fold it, and then when we tuck, we have to be really gentle, not to rip the paper. Just lift it gently and tuck. Not for this. No. After that, we are going to do two mountain folds. Mountain fold means to fold away from you. We mountain fold these corners so that they match up. I'm showing the back side now. This should match up with this accurately. So what we've done is we folded this behind it. with the edges matching. And you do the same thing to the other one. If anyone is stuck at any point, please feel free to interrupt me, and Marjorie here will help you. She's been very enthusiastic about this whole class, and she learned the cube ahead of time by herself, and she said she's going to help me out. So that finishes our unit, and we need 6 of these. So you keep doing the same thing to all 6 sheets of paper, and after that I'm going to show you how to assemble it. So your units look like this, and all of them should look like this. If you have something that's oriented the other way, or it's a mirror image of your first unit, they will not go together. So for any modular origami unit, most of the types that I know of have 2 tabs and 2 pockets. And the tabs, and you interlock the tabs into the pockets, and that's how the model goes together and stays together without glue. So these 2 things are our tabs, and here is a pocket, and here is a pocket. And the way we're going to put them together, I have to borrow somebody's units because I just folded one. Okay. So the way we assemble one face of the cube would be to take one color, which is the base color of the cube, of the face, and then insert the tab of one into the pocket of that one. So this is what we've done. And then we take the same color, the other unit, and put it in the other pocket. And now we have, this is one complete face of the cube. So what you do now is keep completing the other faces using the 3 tabs. You would put, like I said, the 2 pieces that you have of the same color should be on opposite faces if you want the even color distribution. So after this point, what you would do is take a 3rd color and complete this face. And those of you who have completed a cube, you can actually fold 3 more units of the same thing, and I'll show you how to make a Toshi Takahama jewel. So what we've made today is a basic Sunnyvale cube. Now, using the same principles, you can make design cubes or other design shapes. It's just with the reverse side of the paper showing, and there are just slight modifications to the folds just to get the pattern. And in my book, you'll find, I think, 6 variations that will give you 6 different patterns on your model. This one I call the daisy cube because it kind of looks like little flowers in any place. And if you know the basic Sunnyvale, these are actually quite easy to fold after that. And then for people who are done today with the cube, I'm also teaching a Toshi's jewel, and we have this. Someone who's already finished the model. So this is made out of the same unit, but we just need 3, and it uses 1 additional fold to the final unit. And so what we do is we take our unit, we do the last 2 folds, and then we put 1 additional crease like that, and we make 3 of these, and the 3 units kind of fit together like a puzzle. So the way to complete the Toshi's jewel would be to take one color and use the two pockets to insert the tabs of two other colors. And every face would be like that. So every color should have two other colors going into it. And you'll automatically make this shape. I would call it a hexahedron because it has 6 faces. And like I said, it's called Cauchy's duo. And then later on, you can also make things like 12 units. The next thing to make would be a 12-unit model, which is based on an octahedron. And the next one would be a 30-unit model, which is based on an icosahedron. And that, I think, is the prettiest of the lot, 30 units. And most modular origami, not only Sunnyvale, the other modular origami models, I think mostly they are made out of 30 units. The ones that I have on display out there are all 30 units, made out of 30 units. And if you remember any 3D geometry, if you look at a, let's say, dodecahedron, it has 30 edges. Or if you look at an icosahedron, it has 30 vertices. So the number 30 is not a coincidence, it's based on those shapes. So I'll conclude my workshop with this, but I'll be here to help you finish your model. Thank you.